Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Keyboard Warriors. Actually, that's not a real Keyboard Warriors intro. What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to Keyboard Warriors, presented by whoever the fuck. It's myself, Eddie Law, and Aaron Robbins. Hopefully, Fred Kirby will stop jerking off in enough time to actually meet up with us on here to talk about, what we want to talk about. So I know you hit me up a little while ago. You want to get something off your chest. The floor is yours.
Okay. So obviously, we have 196 coming up, right?
Yep.
All right, so it's supposed to be Rafael dos Anjos. He broke his foot, legitimately broke his foot, put a picture up. His foot's all nasty at the fifth metatarsal. Great. So then there was almost like, what would you call it? Almost like a lottery. Who's going to get the red panty night? Who's going to fight McGregor? Turns out Nate Diaz at 170 pounds, right? But here's the problem with MMA fans. I am legitimately excited for this fight to shake down. I do not want to pontificate about ground game and if he's in triathlon shape or fight shape or any of this shit. Can't we just enjoy the fact that it's going to be two guys that want to throw down? McGregor's not going to get into Diaz's mind. Diaz is not as sharp on the spot, but he's a good shit talker. Now, does Diaz win this fight? I don't see it. Not unless McGregor makes a mistake and ends up in a triangle choke, which would be okay. All right. But we can't just be amazed that this man is going to fight at 170 pounds and that he kept 196 together where guys like Fabricio Verdum pull out of fights when, you know, they could keep an event together. How come we can't just enjoy this? Why is it now, the last however many days, I've got these fucking know-nothing morons blowing up Twitter and a bunch more know-nothing fucking morons who think they're MMA coaches going on and on, the pontification about the ground game and whose coach is better and who's the greatest martial artist and what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. Listen, you fat fucks, you don't know shit. You have never known shit. You will never know shit. Can't you just say, great, we have a good fucking fight coming up this weekend? Now nobody's talking about Holmes and fucking Tate. Let me tell you what, I'm excited about that fight. We just completely forgot that those two broads are on the card.
Dude, this fight, the McGregor-Diaz fight has not only overshadowed Holm Tate, which, by the way, I'm excited for too, but it has not only overshadowed that fight, it's overshadowed every single fight on this card, and it's overshadowed every single fight coming this weekend. Nobody's talking about Silva Bisping. Nobody.
No, we've completely skipped over this event, which is fine because this Keyboard Warriors, which should be called 196 Breakdown or McGregor versus Diaz, not or whatever other title. That's why we never get no views, because you can't Google that shit. You can Google Diaz versus McGregor. Because I want to get this off my chest. MMA fans, can't you just be fucking happy that the fight is coming together? That 196 is going to have two awesome fights for a headline and a co-headliner. Can't you stop arguing and stop being fucking retarded fuck faces for a goddamn minute? I'll tell you what, and I was talking about this earlier. In the NFL, in my opinion, the most annoying fans are fans of the Green Bay Packers. I like the Packers. I think the Packers have talent. I think they are perennial, I don't know about favorites, but perennially people love the Packers, right? But you get in a room of Green Bay Packer fans, I would rather stick my dick in an automatic cheese grater. They're just fucking terrible. I'm starting to get to where at first I didn't like McGregor's bullshit. You know what I mean? But now the guy takes it super serious. He's with all sorts of different trainers. He's studying every aspect of martial artists. So now I'm starting to like Conor McGregor. You know who I fucking hate?
Who?
His fans.
Oh, yeah.
His are ruining it. You fucking idiots. Shut up. He doesn't know you. You don't know him. Just because you like him doesn't make you an expert on the sport. Just like me. I'm not an expert on the sport. I like to sit back on the couch and just have fun and watch the fight. And you motherfuckers are ruining it for me. So shut up. Shut up.
And look, here's the thing. Fred Kirby, what?
Get on the goddamn show. What is he doing?
I have no idea. I haven't seen him hit us up on the DM or anything.
But, send Cutmaster a direct tweet that says we are on now. She just asked what time after I told her We're doing it now.
All right, I'll send it to her. Anyway, so but I'm with you on the whole McGregor fans thing. They're a pain in the ass. Fucking, I had because I tweeted out War Diaz, right? Because I'm a Diaz fan. I'm fucking, you know, I still admit it's a fucking long shot that he wins this fight, but at the same time, I'm all out Diaz. I'm going for that dude. So I put that out there, and within 2 minutes, I get a fucking tweet back that says, we're not here to fucking, what was it? We're not here to, what's that thing McGregor says all the time, or used to say? Like,
we're not here to participate, we're here to take over.
Yeah. Some shit. Yeah, he sent me that exact shit. And I go, hey, man, yeah, you're black. And he goes, yeah, exactly. I'm like, you're not even Irish.
No, he's probably,
nothing to do with it.
He's probably Blirish.
Yeah, there you go. I don't even know if that's a real thing. But fuck, like, it's
when a crew of black guys shows up and say that, that's fucking more scary than when Irish people say that.
Oh, that'd be a fucking crazy meet up in the middle of fucking Vegas. But anyway, like fucking, I don't know, man. Like, first of all, I'm more excited for this fight than I was for the RDA fight. Like, a lot more excited. Right? I mean, the fucking, what was it? Did you? I don't know if you watched the pre-fight press conference yesterday, but before it even went live, first of all, the UFC was half an hour late because Conor McNuggets showed up fucking late, half an hour at least, right? So before it even went live and they actually started talking, 130,000 people were sitting there watching the repeats of Anderson Silva and Bisping promos over and over and over and over again. When it finally went live, 250,000 people watched the pre-fight. When the fuck has that ever happened? Never.
Okay. Now, the thing is obviously this is going to break all records. Now, McGregor is perennially now going to break records, and that's fine. We've got a legitimate star. Wherever I go, people know that I watch MMA religiously. So now I go to the grocery store and they're like, hey, man, see McGregor's fighting Nate Diaz? I'm like, yeah, I saw it. What do you think is going to happen? I think they're going to throw down. I think McGregor's going to win. That's what I think. You think so? Yeah, I think so. Because fucking McGregor is a great fighter and Diaz has 2 weeks to train, and it's the wrong Diaz, brother, in my opinion.
I agree.
Well, I mean, come on. Nick Diaz has got a fucking chin on him. Now, I think, and he's got a great ground game. I think if it was Nick, I might be going even money on this fight. But it's not, and it's not. And then the other thing that bothers me is they don't know all the background story. They just hear McNuggets, and they're all happy about that. And that's awesome. That's awesome. It's bringing a lot of attention to the sport that I love, and hopefully that'll translate into bigger salaries for the fighters and, more spotlight and being on Big Fox more often. And all of that's great. So absolutely, McGregor is great for the sport. It seems like his fights are always shit shows now, though, right? Because you got Donald Cerrone, he can't fight because he just fought or whatever. Frankie Edgar is hurt. What's his name there? Jose is out of shape. That's what his
Jose turned it down because he's fat.
He's out of shape. Hey, a lot of these guys don't stay in shape.
Yep. And
it's unfair. I think Funkmaster, actually, it was Aljamain Sterling that brought this up. It's unfair to think that fighters are going to be in fight shape all the time. Of course, they're not going to be in fight shape. These guys don't sit around like Johnny Hendricks looking like a fat, bloated carcass most of the time. But they peak. That 12-week camp, they got that shit down to where fight night, they peak. They're at the peak of their athleticism. Or they overshoot it or undershoot it, and they're not. And we've seen that plenty of times. But these guys just don't sit around fight camping the whole time. Right? So we get Diaz, which makes it fun because McGregor's not going to get into Nate Diaz's head. And for Nate Diaz, this is great. Going to be the best paid day of his life, guaranteed. And this is what Nick and Nate have been talking about. They'll get off the couch and stop smoking weed, which, by the way, brings me to my next point. Stop smoking weed for big money fights. Now, you know that Nate's going to get nabbed for marijuana on the post-fight drug exam, right?
Probably. Yeah, more than likely. We know the Diaz brothers at this point.
There's no fucking way he hasn't been smoking weed this whole time, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a moot point. He might get a lot of money, but he's probably going to get fucking suspended for 2 years and fined $250,000 or whatever. But I'm legitimately excited for this fight. One of the reasons I'm legitimately excited is it's at 170. Now, for all of you Conor fans, which, like I said, I'm not on the hype train. You know me, I'm not a hype train guy. I do have respect for Conor. Don't you think it's a little bit strange that he's 170 pounds?
Weird,
No.
right? Can you imagine that cut to 145 now?
No, because he's always 170 pounds. That man cuts 30 pounds, people, to go beat up on smaller guys.
No, honestly, that was one of the good lines Nate had. Like you were saying earlier, that Nate's not the quick, he's not the sharpest mind, tool in the show, whatever they say. But he came out with two of the best lines I've heard. One is you fought midgets, right? You kept telling McGregor you fought midgets. And two, is like he started saying, I don't give a fuck about the belt. McGregor's like, I don't give a fuck about the belt. And then Nate, like a fucking schoolyard kid, comes out with the best line. So why you carry it everywhere? And McGregor said nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, I don't care about the belt. Why do you carry it everywhere?
Yeah, exactly. That was oh shit. I did not think about that. That to me was the best part.
Mic drop right there. Diaz should have just stood up and walked out the fucking presser. Here's the thing. He's not wrong. And other people have said this. Conor McGregor, when you see a picture of him next to GSP, Conor McGregor is GSP's size. He's legitimate 170-pound fighter. So, okay, I'm not going to go so far as to say that it's cheating because it's not. We all know this, right? But if you intentionally shrink yourself 30 pounds to fight guys that are that small, shouldn't you have a strength advantage?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's when I was kickboxing. Everybody did that, right? You walk around, you're 170, you're 175. You fight 155. You drop 20 pounds while you're in fight camp. The other guy's doing it too. But if you're already naturally strong at 170, you know what I mean? You might have a strength advantage either way. I don't think McGregor with the IV ban, I'm not sure how many more drops to 145 he has in him anyways. I was very excited to see him at 155. I hated the fact that it was a title fight at his first shot at 155. I think that's complete ridiculousness, especially since there's so many guys at 155 very deserving who have fought wars in that division. Why are we all frozen now, Ed?
I don't know. It's fucking internet and whatever else. But we're still live, so we're good.
Okay. So plenty of legitimate guys to take that fight, and then he gets first crack at it. So, yeah, I'm happy to see him at 170. And I'm happy to see the fight go down with the Diaz brothers. Now, what is your opinion on the whole Donald Cerrone lottery that went on? Who would you have liked to see?
Hey, look, man. The first thing I said as soon as RDA got hurt, I said call Nate Diaz. Why? Because that motherfucker will fight anytime, any place. Now, my two choices were Nate Diaz and Cowboy, right? Cowboy, he just fought. He can't be any heavier than what 175, 178, maybe 180. Let's say 180. Right, at the most, he could probably cut the 170 no problem. So I thought for sure he'd be the one to get it. And I'm not sure what happened with that it didn't go down. I can only assume that the UFC wanted Nate Diaz. Like they understood that's the fight, right? But here's the thing: when they call Jose Aldo, Jose's like, I'm out of shape, I can't fight. Okay, Frankie Edgar, they call him. By the way, is there anybody like with the worst luck ever than Frankie Edgar? Does anybody have worse luck than this guy? Finally, they give him the fight that he wants. I'm hurt. The fuck? And then he gets mad about it. He goes, oh, the C in UFC stands for Conor. And the best part, and I got to give Conor props for this, Conor goes, yeah, the C in the UFC does stand for Conor. You're damn right. Like, that's you're playing it right. Who else fucking? Manny Gamborian tried to fucking get that fight. No one wants to see your ass fight, Conor. No one wants to see your ass fight, period. So I thought for sure they're going to come up with some softball. When the name Nate Diaz came up, I got legitimately excited because it's a guy who he cannot defeat before the fight goes down. Now, you're going to have to actually physically beat Nate Diaz, right? And you're not going to get in his head. It's not happening. He couldn't do it at the pre-fight press conference. If anything, the tables got turned a tiny bit with that, with the if you don't give a fuck about the belt, why are you carrying it? That happened, and kind of, the whole room started chanting Diaz. And first of all, they were in California, so it's expected that would happen. If it were anywhere else, the Conor McNugget, nut huggers, whatever, would have shown up and been chanting, there's only one Conor McGregor. It's like, a bunch of non-Irish motherfuckers doing it. But no, dude, look, the sweepstakes, it got weird. It was just weird, and honestly, I found it more annoying than anything because you knew the UFC knew who they want to put in there early. but they let that shit stretch out the entire day. I stopped looking at Twitter. You know what I mean? I didn't find out till after like I stopped looking at Twitter for like 3 hours, and then I got like just a slew of DMs from people going, "It's Nate, it's Nate." It's like, all right, cool. Like, you know, I'm happy for him, but you know, probably like the best thing that's gonna come out of this fight, besides an entertaining fucking fight, in my opinion, is that Nate Diaz finally gets fucking paid. Honestly, I'm happy for the guy. He's gonna be getting 20-20 for a guy like Nate Diaz is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Andrew Reed just brought up a good point, or maybe not. I'm not sure. He was wondering about cardio with McGregor having so much extra weight, 25 extra on him. Will cardio play a part? And I'm not so sure about that, because they do a lot of their cardio work heavy. You know, they're doing their cardio to cut weight. And then for McGregor, most of his weight cut had to have been dehydration. Because we all know the famous pictures of him during weight cut where he looks like another human being, those cheekbones and just everything. So I don't know. I think he does a lot of that strength and conditioning at his walk around weight. But it would be interesting if it does get like say Conor, what do they call him, Mystic Mac now?
Yeah.
Let's say predictions are wrong, and he doesn't knock out Nate with a left uppercut in the first round, because you know that's the call now. Left uppercut first round, because he's so predictable. Let's say that it does go fourth round. Now, when's the last time McGregor's been in the fourth round? Has he ever been in a fourth?
No, okay. The one time he was when he busted his knee against Marcus Brimage. No, sorry, Max Holloway. You remember he messed up his knee, couldn't finish the fight.
That was the 3-round fight.
Yeah, he went 3 rounds. He didn't go 4. I mean, I'm just saying technically.
Yeah, okay. So now we all know that even though they smoke weed on the daily, both Diaz brothers regularly do triathlons, regularly do endurance cardio. So cardio be hey, there he is. Cardio's
Cardio.
be an issue. No, cardio's not going to be an issue for Diaz. I don't know about McGregor probably has great cardio. I think this is going to be an issue of a fight where Diaz gets hit more than Rihanna when she was dating Chris Brown. That's fucking problem. You know what I mean? And Conor McGregor, whether at 170 or 145, you know that guy punches hard, and he is accurate. And we saw what Wonder Boy did to Nate Diaz. We saw what RDA did once he got his game going against Diaz. If Diaz turns into a plotting punching bag, it's going to be bad. I think his best bet is to make it a grappling match.
I agree, and we have the Conor apologist finally on the show. I'm fucking with you, dude. Hey, real quick, there's actually a few comments about you on the YouTube, so I got to throw it out here. Gregory Stone saying, "Where's Kirby? Is he posing in the mirror?" And then he got better. He came back with, "Fred, poser up in the house."
Time to go fuck yourself, Gregory Stone. Go Purple Omega, you prick, you.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so you got to see that shit yesterday with the press conference. What were your thoughts on that? And what are your thoughts on the fight? You know, overall.
Okay, so yeah, overall, listen, it's fucking perfect, right? Since RDA stubbed his fucking toe and he can no longer make the dance, somebody had to step up and fucking make this event fucking possible. So it's perfect, and I think this is a fight that we all had a lot of interest in, anyways, right? And I don't know what you guys were talking about right before I got on, but I assume like the stylistic matchup between them two. And yeah, I would say that Conor definitely probably is the favorite in this fight. But Nate is probably the biggest guy he's fought. He's tough as shit. He's extremely durable. And, I would venture to say that Nate probably has the best boxing of anybody that Conor has fought yet. His boxing is fucking crisp and clean, man. It's a lot to deal with. Like, he just fucked Michael Johnson up. Mm-hmm. So I think this is definitely an interesting fight for Conor, too. The fact that it's at 170 is slightly irrelevant. That's just because fucking Nate's kind of out of shape and isn't going to make 55. Nate's a 55er for real. So, I don't know. What the fuck else did you say? What are we talking about?
No, real quick, I gotta throw this out here. Jesse's saying Fred is at least wearing clothes. they don't even care about what you're saying. They're just like, this fucker finally showed up with clothes on.
No, what if I never not have fucking clothes on the show?
Anyway. I agree with you. My biggest thing, and I want to see this happen live, I'm going to be just giddy about this. First off, gentlemen, I'm going to have my fucking 50-inch 4K TV for 196.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Fucking fancy Mr. Doctor.
You fucking right. Now, the other thing that I'm super excited is the first time that Conor lands a punch. I want to see Nate's reaction to see if he carries that same power at 170 or if there's a realization for Conor that, yeah, I have been fighting little midgets, and now I'm fighting a grown man, and my punches don't translate the same. Now, I could be wrong. He might hit Nate and fucking Tweety birds go all over the place and a bunch of fucking zigzags fall out of his shorts. I don't know.
It's a good point, though, because, listen, Nate doesn't get hurt easily either. So, like, he's a bigger guy, and he's not really easy to rock. Some guys at 55 or 70, I think that Conor could probably hurt easily. But Nate's not a guy that gets hurt easily. If you go back and look at his fights, even when RDA was trouncing him, he was still fucking giving him the bird and shooting that fucking mouth off the whole time. I tell you what I'm curious about. I want to see if Conor can shut him the fuck up. Can he hit him so hard that Nate stops running that fucking mouth? Like, you know Nate's going to be talking, even if he's hurt.
Now, wait, look, how about the other way around? Is Nate going to actually make McGregor concentrate on the fight? Because you remember, every fight, man, especially the Chad Mendes fight, it was all of the smiling and the pointing into this and that. Yep. Well, you never know. Conor might all of a sudden have to be like, holy shit, I'm fighting a grown man now. He's got arms longer than mine. Yep. He is taller than me. He's got legs longer than mine. He's all talking about, oh, you know, this is an illusion. His range is an illusion. Well, I'll tell you what, Jack, them with some long-ass arms, that's a good fucking illusion.
Listen, I love Conor, and he is the best at talking. But no, Nate's reach is not an illusion. I mean, the kid's got great boxing, and out of all the fucking 55ers, he uses his reach probably the best as far as his boxing goes. His jab is fucking good. I mean, his boxing is really tight, man. I do think that Conor will be able to get around it. But listen, the cool thing about Conor McGregor's progression has been each time we watch him fight, he kind of gets to pass a new test. You know what I'm saying? And Nate Diaz definitely poses some new problems. The reach, the boxing, great jiu-jitsu, and big enough to kind of impose a grappling game on Conor if he so chooses to. The problem with Nate is his fucking fight IQ sucks. I love him for it, but, like, if he just rushed Conor against the cage and took him down, as much as I like Conor, I don't know if Conor wants to roll with Nate in the first round. Nate has one of the trickiest guards in the fucking game, but Nate's just not fucking clever enough to do that. I know the cute little prick's going to come out and try to box with him, you know, Stockton slaps and all, and that'll probably be his downfall.
It might be, but I want to rewind a little bit. Now, we all like Donald Cerrone. That's a true statement, right?
Yep.
And besides his body lately, we would all consider Donald Cerrone a very durable guy, right?
That's right.
For sure.
Nate Diaz beat the shit out of him.
Badly.
Listen, that's what I mean. Nate Diaz is no joke. Everybody was riding Michael Johnson's dick before that fight, and Nate threw him a beating. You know what I'm saying? Michael Johnson is quick and strong and powerful, and Nate fucked him up. Nate Diaz is not a joke of a fight. This is not a, like I said, Conor may be the favorite, but as a big Conor fan, when that fight starts, I will be on the edge of my seat because I don't know how he's going to do with a little extra power or with Nate's volume punching. That could be a real problem for Conor. We haven't seen him fight a guy like that.
Now, we saw what Chad Mendes could do as far as the takedowns, but Chad Mendes couldn't do anything with them, whether it be exhaustion, bad camp, whatever the excuses were there. Chad lost. Exactly. You know me and excuses. I fucking hate fight come up with excuses. Now, Nate, I think if he gets him down like Mendes, I think Conor is going to have some oh shit moments because he is going to be using that Gracie Jiu-Jitsu aggressively to choke the living shit out of this Irishman.
Here's the ironic thing about that. You're absolutely right. But whereas Chad could get the takedown and do nothing with it, I don't think that Diaz can get the takedown to do anything with it. It's completely the opposite. What if he could get him down? Sure, but what the fuck, man? I'll out wrestle Nate Diaz. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't see his offensive wrestling is shite. Come on.
Well, here's the thing. Even off his back, Nate Diaz is really, really fucking good, right? But on the takedown side, he's not a wrestler. Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz have never been wrestlers and never will be. They have jiu-jitsu takedowns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows how good Conor McGregor is at that?
Wait, now let's be realistic about it. How hard did Mendez have to offensively wrestle Conor?
Not very hard.
So those were some of the easiest motherfucking takedowns ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, if he decides to do that, where if he gets an outside trip or one of those, grappling exchanges, and he decides just to flop on his back to see if he can hop back up with old fucking long limb Nate Diaz, it might be a big fucking mistake. I'll tell you, what's going to make a difference here, and I think it's the difference every time you fight Conor McGregor. And it's the same thing with Mike Tyson or any of these mystic fighters that win and win and win. If you go in there and think you're going to beat Conor at his game, it is going to be a short fucking night. If somehow you can get Conor to play your game, you win. Because that's what happened with Cerrone. That's what happened with Michael Johnson. Cerrone went in with a bad game plan. He played Nick Diaz's game, and he lost badly. Michael Johnson had a great game plan, but got frustrated and decided to play Diaz's game later. And he fucking lost bad. And somebody just said Diaz will pull guard. Could happen. Might be a mistake. I don't know if I'd want Conor fresh on top of me, because he'll and fucking rain down blows on your fucking dome piece.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's just say, like I said, Mystic Mac aside, let's say he doesn't knock Nate Diaz out with a left uppercut in the first round. Fourth round, 25 pounds heavier than he's used to fighting. He hasn't knocked this guy out. They're both a little bit winded. Then it goes into a grappling exchange. I can definitely see a triangle choke.
Oh, no doubt for sure. The longer the fight goes on, it's going to be very interesting because we all know that fucking Nate has a good gas tank. And we all know that Nate can take a beating. And to a point that you always make, Dr. Feelgood, we haven't really seen Conor have to take a beating yet. So we don't really know what happens if he gets in a dogfight. We do know that Nate will fight to the end. So there is a lot of questions for Conor, but that's what makes Conor and this whole story so intriguing. We still really, all bullshit aside and all bluff aside, we don't know how good Conor is yet, really. Maybe he comes out and fucking steamrolls Nate, or maybe this is the wake-up call that all of you, or all the critics keep saying that Conor's going to finally get, but we don't really know.
And I don't know if it would be a wake-up call. I'll tell you, what would be interesting with this, wouldn't it be nice to see a back and Kirby, what the fuck are you doing?
Hey, man,
Stop.
just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep giving us your fucking professional analytics, all right?
You ain't got to be all damn sneaky.
I'm being sneaky, all right? Jesus, do your thing.
You fucker. All right, wouldn't it just be refreshing to see Conor in a back and forth rather than it just being a fucking Marcus Brimage steamroll or a Dennis Seaver steamroll or a 13-second a fucking Joe Aldo? Wouldn't it be nice to see a 4-round war? Whoever won, just both guys bloody and fucking bashed. A lot of respect at the end. Who gives a shit? Just a nice fucking war. To see how durable Conor is. Because we haven't seen that. We know how durable Nate is. But I would really like to see a back-and-forth battle. I don't want to see a one-sided fluke. Not fluke. You know what I mean. Like a fucking punch, knockout, this shit again. I'd like to see these guys bleed and bruise and fight. I want to see a fucking fight.
Yeah. So we're going back and forth here on YouTube real quick. Gregory Stone saying, Nate and Nick overwhelmed me from nowhere. Michael Johnson was looking great against Nate in the first round. Then shit changed up round 2 from nowhere. Basically, Nate, started putting it on in the second round. And then Jesse makes a good point. He says, look what any good fighter has done to Diaz. Kick the legs, take the movement away, and kill him. Yeah,
those are good points, man. I mean, there's a blueprint to beat Nate Diaz, for sure.
Yeah, but are we worried about Conor focusing in on his leg? No. I'm not. Conor wants those capoeira kicks. He wants to kick you in your head. He wants to be flash. I don't see him doing Muay Thai leg kick. I don't see that.
I think it'll be a lot of body shots. That little spin kick that he does. A lot of body shots from Conor early. You know what I mean? And then just trying to knock him down with the fucking power left hand that he's got.
Yeah, which could be a fucking bad game plan, though, man. Nate tends to take punches to the face really well. Tell Andrew to go fuck yourself, okay? Everybody's so goddamn observant tonight, aren't they? Jesus
come on. It's so fucking obvious. What else are you doing?
Jesus fucking Christ, taking a sneeze.
Those make noises, you dipshit.
All right, I'm muting the fucking phone. What the fuck else are we talking about tonight? What's happening?
Okay. Well, we have done our own pontification on McGregor and Diaz. There are other fights to be excited about. Maybe. Is anybody excited about Bisping Silva? Before we move on, does anybody care at this point?
Well, yeah. What do you mean? Does anybody care? Of course I care.
Well, I was asking. I'm trying to be polite. You fucking scruffy bitch.
Ooh, look at you. Are you on your fucking period, Dr. Philbin? Of course we care. It's the fucking GOAT coming back.
Nah, toothache.
Hey, no, but
Fast for that.
for real, look, I just want to see which Silva shows up. Because I think if the Silva fought Nick Diaz shows up, Bisping's got a shot. If the Silva that showed up against Weidman, comes in, Bisping's gonna get knocked out.
Oh, will you stop it with the Bisping has a shot? I got a better shot at fucking Rihanna tomorrow afternoon than Bisping does at beating Anderson Silva. And with all this London, he hasn't lost. I don't give a fuck if they're fighting in London and Bisping gets to bring out the Wolf Slayer with him. He's getting that ass thrashed. What if Bisping decides to offensively wrestle? Then maybe he's got a shot. But I know he's going to stand up there with his dopey little eye and try to test his striking because he thinks he's a great technical kickboxer. And, for all the bullshit that's happened with Anderson with the steroids and the dick pills and the fucking getting his leg shattered and the weird thing with Nick Diaz, I still think he is light years ahead of fucking Michael Bisping as far as striking goes. So, and listen, Michael Bisping can't hurt you.
Yeah.
The dude never knocks anybody out, and when he does, it's in like the 4th round when fucking Jason Miller's like all twacked out on crack or something.
He's got one fucking eye too.
Yeah, he's got one eye. Come on.
Dennis King. Isn't that the last guy that he actually trounced?
And that was like late 2nd round.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was like 18 years ago.
Right, man. Listen, I think okay, do you guys agree with me on that Bisping is probably going to take an L?
Oh, dude.
So.
If Anderson is even 80% on point, he is laser scope him and just fuck it. I can't wait to see a second. Like, remember how happy everybody was when Hendo landed the H-bomb?
Yeah.
On Bisping. Now Bisping was a little bit more of a villain then, honestly, because they had just come off the show and he was a cocksucker. But I'll be just as happy to see him get knocked the fuck out. Okay, somebody said the Pickett fight will be good. That's true. Brad Pickett always brings it. That's great.
That's going to be a sick fight.
Okay, when do we get... Okay, Eddie, is your computer pulled up?
Yep.
Give us the rundown of both cards. Give us some interesting fights to talk about on both.
Hold on. Whoa. 1 second before we move on, you fucking pricks. At a point there. Since we all agree that Anderson's going to win, what do you think they do with Anderson after this fight? Do you think they give him the title shot?
Hell no.
You don't think so?
No, he's done with title shots. Unless he does something amazing.
No, whoa. Hey, settle down, angry Mexican. He said he wants his belt back. He's still the GOAT. If he knocks out fucking Bisping in London, I think he's at the very most 1 fight away. They're going to try to fucking give the guy a shot to the throne.
You know what? I don't think I agree with Kareem. I don't think that you knew I was gonna have to fuck with you at some point.
I know. I knew it was coming at some point, but I know it's coming right there.
Fucker. I have to agree with Abdul over here. And I don't think he really wants a fucking title shot. I honestly don't. I think he wants big money fights. He's at the end. I don't think he honestly thinks he's got a title run in him left. But these fights are interesting, man. He's one of those guys that's infinitely marketable. Anybody against Anderson Silva is marketable, especially for these free shows. This is great marketing right here. On the Fox shows, FS1 shows, anybody against Anderson Silva is a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, you let's say he beats Bisping, you give him, if Vitor, fucking grows his balls back out, he can fight him, he can fight anybody, just money fights at this point. From now on, for Silva, money fights, that's it, that's all he's got left.
Okay, well then what the fuck's going on at 85 with the title picture, though, after Weidman?
After Weidman, Rockhold, Jacare, he's fighting recently. Oh, no, he just lost, didn't he, to Romero?
He's fighting
Romero.
Vitor.
That's true.
Romero's a fucking cheater with the gay Jesus. That motherfucker's on ice for a while.
Yeah. 185 is kind of falling apart.
That's my point. That's why I think that if Anderson come out and fucking starches Bisping, I would not be surprised if they try to give the little cute cocksucker his last shot at glory.
All right, so here's the top. We'll just go down the rankings, okay? Number 1, Weidman, obviously. Jokery's number 2, Vitor's number 3, Lyoto's number 4, but I don't see him getting that.
No
Anderson's
shit.
number 5, so you got a point. Number 6, Tim Kennedy, but he's hunting Nazis. Michael Bisping's number 7. He's not beating Anderson. Number 8,
No.
Robert Whitaker, but I think that's too much of a reach.
Oh, well, Jesus Christ, Robert Whitaker. Well, you can go ahead and stop naming at that point.
Well, how about if Gegard
wins impressively? I'll tell you what, man. The fucking middleweight has gone from a Shark Tank to a fucking toilet bowl.
Yeah, a couple big wins.
The fuck?
What's up with
Yeah,
the audio?
that was weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I got a fucking phone call coming in. I didn't recognize the number. I'll tell you what. In real life, if you come up on my phone and it's not your name, I am not answering it.
Leave a message, motherfucker. But yeah, no, you're right. 185 pictures kind of fucked. So I mean, maybe Silva wins, one more fight, maybe a title shot. But I mean, do you give him a chance against Weidman or Rockhold?
I mean, listen, I think they could sell the Rockhold fight. He'll probably get slaughtered, but it's still kind of a fun fight.
I'll tell you what, I'm really hoping that this is the Luke Rockhold era. I want to see Luke Rockhold hold that belt. I want to see him stomp people's asses. Was that cannabis smoke?
Of course not. It's a black and mild.
Okay. Where are we on the Nurmi versus Fergie fight? Is that coming up on either of these two cards? Was that enough?
No.
That's in April.
April. Okay.
Because that headline's something.
What other exciting fights we got? We got Holm versus Tate.
All right. So if you want to go 196, we got Holm, Tate, and that's kind of it on the main card. And then in the prelims, I don't really see anything to be super excited about.
No. Bada Harazada is fighting Brandon Thatch, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm down for that, man. That'll be a fun fight.
That's the headliner, which I don't understand why they're giving Thatch a headliner.
I don't know. I mean, I think he's lost those last 2 fights by submission.
That'll be a
what
fun.
What is it? Rahazada?
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound like some sort of exotic Mexican dish you get at an American restaurant?
It sounds like some Tex-Mex shit they made up to make it sound Mexican.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's offended. That ain't no real Mexican food.
Bro, I live in Arizona. You can't offend me. All right. They've passed laws against my people. Okay, motherfucker. Like, it's incredibly hard to offend
to be
me.
Mexican in Arizona.
No, dude, it's easy to be Mexican in Arizona. No, it's easy to be Mexican in Arizona. It's just these motherfuckers are hunting us down, so I just gotta watch my back. I'll be all right. I don't have an accent anymore. I lost my accent in 8th grade, bro. Okay, I'm fine.
I will tell you what. I'm doing this Arizona wide. If there is any family who can tolerate cold, I will let you live in my house if you open up an authentic Mexican restaurant in the UP. Please.
You got nothing up there?
Damn, son. Has your diet fallen by the wayside?
Does it look like I have, you scruffy bitch? No. I'm still losing weight, and you're still getting uglier, unbelievably. And that's the difference between being fat and being ugly. You will always be ugly, and I can continue to lose weight.
Hey, man, just keep your bowling shirt on, son. Just keep your bowling shirt on.
Real quick, hold up. Okay. Andrew Reed says my shirt looks like it says urinal. Is this
a line? That's not a bowling shirt, you cocksmoker.
Oh, there you go. But Andrew Reed points out the Amar Khani fight this weekend.
Who's he fighting?
Yeah, okay.
Mike Wilkinson. That's a good fight.
Yeah, that's tight. I've been wanting to see him do fight again.
And then, of course, we're talking Francisco Rivera, Brad Pickett, and then Mousasi against Taos Leites. What do you guys think of that?
I think Taos Leites is fucked.
Yeah. Taos Leites, first off, for all of you lesbian and gay and homo heroes out there, which I should not be on this list, I believe that Taos Leites is a gay fighter. So I'm rooting for him in that way.
Hold on.
Explain that shit.
Where the fuck did that come from? Where do you get that?
He pegs my gaydar.
I bet he does.
Oh, no.
Holy shit. That's the first time I've ever heard that. I gotta say, though, now that you say it,
see?
I can see it a little bit.
Yeah, now let me tell you what, and you know that Fred is the utmost expert, because any man who takes that many selfies has got a huge feminine side to him.
Hey, it's true. Listen, I'm very in touch with my feminine side. And listen, you can't do that shit in Brazil. I think it's like illegal to be gay in Brazil. They make you become a tranny. It's no bullshit.
Hey, I'm just telling you,
For real?
as far as like mannerisms and stuff like that, way back in the day, I saw Talus and I was like,
Oh,
He thinks
shit.
Taylor is a little suspect. Fucking. Yeah,
Hey,
anyways.
put it out. It's okay to be gay.
Sure.
I'm just saying, he's suspect. That's all I'm saying.
You're just saying he pegs your gaydar. We
He
get it.
pegs my gaydar. That's all it is. I probably don't have the most refined gaydar, not like fucking Kirby over here. I'm sure it's like fucking the easiest game of Where's Waldo in the world. When you walk into a club, you see him everywhere you go. You selfie.
Hey, quite frankly, it never pegged my anything as far as it goes.
I'm sure you know all about pegging. Gross bitch.
Man, we're going to be put on every single list. All we need now is
Whoa.
the feminists coming after us.
Oh, man, fuck their lists.
Fucking Twitter, you bunch of cocksuckers.
Yeah, who gives a fuck.
All right, so come on, fight.
What else?
Come on, we got to talk Tate Holm.
Yo, let's talk Tate Holm. Okay, Tate Holm. Obviously, the fight's being super overshadowed by Nate and McGregor, and every fight's overshadowed, from now until at least the Nate McGregor fight. So, but Holly and Miesha, obviously Miesha Tate, for some reason her camp thinks they can knock Holm out. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Might take her down, might ground and pound her, but you're not knocking Holm out.
I think that's misdirection. They're trying to send different vibes. There's no way they want to box with Holly Holm.
Hell no.
I gotta ask you guys a question because I heard this and I didn't know whether to believe it or not, but we speculated on this. Do you believe? And here's Andrew with the fucking yes, Andrew. We know all Mexican food is the same ingredients. It's indigenous to the land, you fuckface, and yes, they just put it in different orders in tortillas, but they're all delicious. And boiled everything over in the UK is all gross. So go fuck yourself. Anyway. Do you believe that Holly Holm held back in her first 2 UFC appearances?
Yes.
No, what a fucking asshole. Of course not. Held back on purpose? Are you motherfuckers? Who's high on this show?
Hey, that was her coaches.
No,
Her
stop.
coaches came out and said she held back.
Not on purpose. No, I absolutely do not think that she purposely held back some fucking tools or fucking whatever the fuck to surprise Ronda with. No. And if she did, she's the fucking baddest bitch ever known. What the fuck? I think
you,
if she could.
you have to admit that the fighter we saw in the Ronda fight, now that should have been where she had her nerves. Wait, that should have been where she had her nerves. Fighting arguably the baddest bitch on the planet. There was no nerve. She gave 0 fucks, and she gave that girl a fucking schoolyard ass beating, is what she gave her. Now, not saying nothing. I'm just saying that I think Holly Holm is as good as she was advertised. And I think that Miesha Tate is going to get her ass kicked.
I think so too. But let's look at those first 2 opponents at home fight. All right, Raquel Pennington beat her by split decision, and then Mary Renau beat her by decision. Right. But if you watch those fights, it was just at range. There was no one getting anywhere near close. Ronda Rousey rushed her ass and got knocked the fuck out, which for sure Tate's not gonna do. Tate's not gonna rush in and get in her face. But I mean, Raquel, I don't know. I could see her holding back against those 2.
Listen, did she perform up to the max of her capability? Absolutely not, obviously. But I don't think it was some fucking purposeful plan. I just think that it takes a minute to get comfortable in there. And also, I think that with Ronda, it was probably very much it's for the fucking belt. So she probably knew she had to bring everything. There was probably that. And she probably, in a weird way, the pressure was probably less because she thought, fuck it. Worst come to worst, Ronda armbars me, and that's what's expected anyway. So she probably was a lot looser and just actually let her talent show. And as far as being like a knockout striker, to the best of my knowledge, that was never her game. Even in boxing, she was a bit more of a technical striker. She's not a fucking female Mike Tyson. Ronda just has horrible fucking striking.
Dude, her whole highlight reel, MMA highlight reel, is her knocking women the fuck out.
with head kicks. Look at her boxing highlight reel, though. She's a technical boxer. She's not fucking Tyson. She's more Lennox Lewis than Mike Tyson.
I don't remember this being a fucking breakdown of fucking hands over feet. I'm saying that when she sidekicked Ronda in the guts, Ronda shit her pants a little bit, and when she fucking head kicked her, she dislocated her face.
Well, listen, I can't remember. Did she even throw head kicks at the first two broads,
No.
Pennington?
And that's what Eddie's saying. Her range was off. In those first two fights, she did not make contact. It was like she could not find a range. Now, maybe that's all it was.
Right, I would say that.
Octagon jitters, couldn't find a range. But I'm telling you what, if she has a range against Miesha Tate, that resting bitch face is going to be
fucked.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I said it from the get-go. I think that Ronda's offensive takedowns are limited as fuck, basically to judo throws. Other than that, as far as double legs, single legs, or any kind of traditional American-style Greco-Roman wrestling type shit, she is shite. And that is actually where Miesha Tate tends to excel at. And styles make fights, man. So the fact that maybe Miesha could bully her into the cage and drag her to the fucking mat, that's fucking possible. Now, I kind of doubt it, but, you know.
I will counter with, do you remember what happened when Ronda locked her up for a hip toss and Holly decided not to be tossed?
She sat down on that shit.
Holly Holm is strong. Holly Holm is very strong. And over at Jackson Winklejohn, you think for a moment they haven't been watching Tate with her wrestling, her cute little wrestling. She gets to train with monsters at Jackson Winklejohn. I will bet you that her defensive wrestling is on fucking point.
I would say that you're right on that, but we haven't seen it tested yet. And defending judo throws is a lot different than defending a single leg or a double leg. And, you know, Miesha Tate, for all of her, you know, negative points, that is one of her. I think that she will relentlessly try to get that takedown. Whether she can get it or not is debatable. And you're right, I doubt it. Holly seems like she's strong, she's big. Fuck, I just seen a video of her sparring with John Jones. Now, obviously, they weren't going too hard, but you're right. She's got killers that she's training with on the regular. So, you know, this is.
Let me ask you this, though. Sorry, let me ask you this. Like, physically, athletically, who's a better athlete between either Holm and Tate or Holm and Ronda? Because the way I saw Holm, physically, just like a thoroughbred. Like, walking back and forth in front of Ronda before the fight started, she was just like raring to go, but her body looked just in shape, ready to go. To where Ronda always comes in looking a little soft, no?
Maybe. I don't think that was necessarily an issue. I think it was a technique thing. I think Ronda's a hell of an athlete, too. Miesha Tate is the one that I think just happens to be ballsy. I mean, she's strong, but I think that Holly and Ronda are by far the better athletes of that trio.
Here's another thing. Tate's a grinder. We have seen her get face pounded a few times. And that's the thing, too, is that she's not afraid to throw down. And it might come down to fourth, fifth rounds. Is there wait a second now? Is it co-main? This isn't going to be.
It's a championship fight. Yeah. So it's 5 rounds. Yep.
All right. So I mean that's really where it boils down to. Now, I'm guessing that just like Ronda, those kicks that Holm throws, I think if she hits her upside her head, I don't think there's a dome piece that handles that. To tell you the truth, I think this just like Kirby said, I think this fight is decided on the ground. If Holm can keep distance and stop the offensive wrestling, she will eventually catch her with something that stuns her, and she's a killer. She'll finish her. If Tate grinds it for 5 rounds,
could be interesting. Could be interesting. Be kind of boring, but it definitely could be interesting for sure.
So which is it? Interesting or boring? Because those are on the opposite side of the spectrum there.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, it would be interesting to see Holly lose a boring fight. Hey, motherfucker, it's true. I tell you what, it would fucking suck, though, then, right? Because what if we get fucking Miesha holding fucking Holly down for 5 rounds, and then what? We get Ronda beating Miesha again, the fucking round robin of the belt exchanges? That would be a pain in the tit.
That would take Ronda fighting again, and I'm telling you, I don't see it.
Oh, stop it. She's
I don't see it either, man. I really don't. How are you going to go do Roadhouse and do your own biopic and all the shit she's doing now and still have time to train? Like, It didn't work out last time. What makes you think it's going to work out this time?
Well, I'm not saying it'll work out, but she's going to give it a whirl. You guys really genuinely think she'll never fight again?
I think it's possible. I think it's a good chance.
I'm 50-50 right now. Anyways, do we got anything else interesting? Anything that pops off the screen that we really need to break down? Because other than that, I think we've been at this damn near an hour, haven't we?
We're at probably we're at 50 minutes, so pretty much an hour. Throwing out this fight real quick. Norman Park against Husam Kabulov. Anybody care?
Nah.
Norman Park's a jerk off. Listen, fuck all that bullshit. Let's talk about what people want to hear. What's next for C-Mac after he thumps on Nate Diaz? Does he go to 70 or does he they rebook the RDA thing?
Ooh, I think he goes to 70. Yeah.
First off, I never call him C-Mac because that sounds like a nasty burger from McDonald's. The fucking C-Mac, full of Pepsi. I don't know. Okay, I want to stay within the realm of realism. Now, we Manny Pacquiao go up and weight, up and weight, up and weight. What was he, like 4 or 5 weight classes?
At least.
In boxing, you're talking about, what is it, 4 or 5 pounds?
If that.
Okay. Now, we're talking about a 25-pound weight difference.
Right.
We are talking about guys now. Okay, now Conor walks around 70, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So he stays at 70. He's fighting men who walk around 195.
At least 195. Yeah, they cut mad weight.
Yep.
He's fighting some fucking beasters. If he's smart and he wants to keep the old hype train going, I think he goes 155 because I think stylistically and power-wise, there are plenty of guys there that he can trounce, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now you go up 70, and we're talking about Rory McDonald.
Yeah.
Talking about Carlos Condit.
Tyron Woodley. Animals.
Tyron Woodley.
Stephen Thompson.
Yeah.
Now, saying, if I'm Conor McGregor and I want to keep the red panty nights going, I drop down to 155 where some of those guys have suspect chins and maybe not the exact kind of the plotting style like he's talking about. Because I'll tell you what, all of that accuracy and speed and this and that, when you've got a fucking nightmarish monster like Tyron Woodley trying to rip your fucking head off, or somebody who moves great, Carlos Condit moves great at that weight. Fucking Stephen Thompson, he's not plotting. I'll tell you what, he's got all that fancy schmancy karate shit. You don't believe? Ask fucking Hendricks.
Yeah.
And Hendricks is a big boy, and when he kicked Hendricks, he flopped around like a little fucking girl.
And Ellenberger, too.
Remember Ellenberger laughing at him for the karate thing?
Yeah.
There are some big fucking guys at 170. Do I think he stays at 170? Maybe for the money, because you know right away they'll be like, oh, no, it's Robbie Lawler. It's like, come on, why don't you just give him fucking Verdum then? Let him fight for everything. Let's make it fucking different. There's a ranking system for a reason. Do you all remember when Anderson Silva, arguably the best fighter ever, went up a weight class? Who did he get?
The Sandman, Jack.
Yeah, fucking James Irving. And you remember that? He hit him, and then James Irving looks up. I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Stop giving him the fucking title fight. The one with RDA, okay, because they had a little beef or whatever.
Whoa.
But the one set, make him go 155. If he clears out that division, all right, then on to 170. But I'm telling you what, if he gets a legitimate 170er, I think when he hits him and they go, I've been fighting midgets, huh?
All right, look, switching gears a tiny bit, well, a lot of it, actually. Andrew Reed tweeting over, have you done a show since Kimbo? And I don't believe we talked about that. We did.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
We started doing the Fight Companion, and somehow, for some reason, that died out. Luckily, because it would have been the worst thing. We would have said so much, like, evil shit during the fights that it would have been just, people would have been fucking just bored.
Okay,
but,
well, yeah, listen. We do got to go quickly, and we're almost at the hour here. And listen, let's not waste no time talking about how fucking bad the fight sucked. I'm curious at what you guys think this did for two things: A, Bellator's brand going forward, and B, Kimbo's brand going forward.
Bellator, okay. Bellator's brand, 2.5 million. Isn't that what did they?
Yep, I even heard 3.3 at a peak.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for Bellator's brand, it was exactly what they wanted. That freak show mentality is to bring in casuals. They don't give a shit if it's a good fight.
Right.
Kimbo, Kevin Ferguson, please, for the love of God, man, you were awesome on YouTube, but that was 15 years ago. Knock it the fuck off. You're not an MMA fighter, even a little bit. You suck. You got exhausted laying on top of a fat man.
It's true. It's true, dude. It's true. It's bad.
How do you get exhausted laying on top of a fat guy? If the fat guy's laying on top of you and you're trying to get away, sure. But you had the dominant position and gassed yourself doing nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Oh.
So does he fight again?
Yeah, he fights. He's gonna fight Rampage.
Jesus Christ.
I don't mind that. Rampage's gonna kill him.
Yeah, I suppose at this point in the game, why not? Fuck it, give him Rampage.
Wait, where? Who does Rampage fight for?
Oh, you haven't heard that either? Yeah, he's back with Bellator.
What a whore!
Well, he's the thing.
Know, right?
Bellator sued him, right? Because that whole thing when he ran off to the UFC, Bellator sued. So in order to settle that, new contract, and he's back to fighting for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Rampage. He's great.
At this point, who cares? It's all a bunch of fucking old, broken down men. Don't make no difference. But I do think, hey, for your last fight, for your last hurrah, if Rampage fights Kimbo, he'll beat the shit out of Kimbo Slice.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That might not be a bad fight to make, actually. As silly as it is, you guys are right. Imagine the ratings that does. Or you know what? Actually, I tell you what. This is the fight. And you know what? Okay, who's the matchmaker for Bellator?
Scott Coker, isn't it?
Some agent.
Yeah, no, it's some agent, like Rich. It's like Rich Cho or some shit like that. Listen, Richie, listen to Daddy Fred for a minute. This is what you do: book Kimbo Slice versus Herschel Walker.
Ooh.
Do that. Not only does that fight actually sound slightly competitive, it'll be a fucking ratings bonanza. And then, for the love of God, you cute cocksuckers, put MVP on the undercard. Fuck.
He was hurt. He was hurt, dude. That's why he wasn't.
Was it? It does make sense.
He was fucking hurt, dude. Like, you and those injuries, you always get so butt tore. You know people actually do get hurt when they do athletic things, right, Kirby?
Yeah, I know. Fucking RDA with his bad toe.
Tell you what, that's the most athletic thing you do. If you ever sprain your lip, it'll be the fucking end of your Instagram career.
You're goddamn right it will be. The lip bite's that's my trademark.
Oh, shit. That's the most athletic thing you do besides roll lips. Sprain a finger or get chapped lips. It's fucking over.
He said he said the end of your Instagram career. That's fucking gold.
I'm glad you're cutting out through most of this shit. I can't hear you, and I'm fucking thrilled about it.
Oh, gives a fuck. That was the end of your Instagram career. Goddamn. All right. All right. Real quick before we go, because we only got about a minute or two left. Royce Gracie against Ken Shamrock.
Jesus, what a fucking abysmal disgrace that was, right? Here's another thing.
Just a second now. Wait, I want this to be clear. So you let me get out my thought, and then I'll let you get out your thought, because that's when we cut out, is when we're arguing.
Mm.
I'm concerned because I turned 40 this year. It took 4 seconds for Ken Shamrock's brain to react to him getting hit in his nut. I'm legitimately concerned as I age. The fucking gap between my balls and my brain has that big of a delay. So if any of you guys watching on YouTube or fucking Twitter can get me some scientific evidence that it's not going to take my brain 4 or 5 seconds to realize that I've had an orgasm, I want to know that shit now. That fucking delay was so weird. That was weirder than a fucking satellite delay from country to country. He got smashed in his nuts, said nothing. 4 seconds later, fucking Gracie whips on a knee, and then he goes, "Oh, my balls!" What just happened?
Listen. Jimmy Smith said something very fucking interesting on your boy's show, the MMA Hour, this week. He said, "Listen, it's all about the ratings, right? If dumb fucks continue to tune into this shit and they get 3 million viewers off of horseshit cards like this, guess what? They're going to keep doing it. And for all of me, this whole idea of a senior division in MMA, I don't know who these fans are that want to relive their past with guys like Royce Gracie and Ken Shamrock, But I fucking don't want to, man. I want to remember them for what they were. That fight was doomed to be a shit show because they're fucking senior citizens and they don't need to be fighting no more. They need to be teaching at best. So please, all you dumb fuck fans out there, don't ask for shit like this no more. Hoist don't need to be fighting. These guys are well past their prime. Knock it the fuck off with the fucking senior division. Come on.
Yeah, did you see the fucking wicked dad bod that Hoist Gracie has?
It's those fucking steroids in that acai.
God, he looked like a fucking 45-year-old dad from fucking Pasadena going out to get the newspaper.
And then this kid got bullied, so now he has to fight the other old guy.
Hey, yo, he looked pissed, though, didn't he? When he was standing outside the cage, he was looking at Kim like he fucked his wife. Like, there you are, motherfucker. I done kicked your ass twice, but I'm coming to knee you in the nuts, you cocksucker.
And then Ken, so he did it on purpose.
That was fucking golden. It almost seemed fake because Ken's such a fucking character. He did it on purpose. He knew he did it.
Dude, yeah. put them in the same fucking retirement home. For sure this fight happens again in their retirement home.
There'll be a 6th and a 7th in fucking Shady Pines. They're going after each other with walkers. He did it on purpose. He spit in my applesauce.
Reality show. That's what they need. They need a reality show.
No, do not give Bellator ideas right now with that bullshit. Oh, I would watch it though.
It's the whole point of this show. Everybody on Facebook, shut the fuck up. You don't know nothing about Muay Thai or Sanchai or nothing. You guys shut your fucking mouths. I am going to redo all of my fucking groups. I'm done with MMA groups. You're all a bunch of fucking mouth-breathing retards who know nothing about nothing. Half of you motherfuckers don't even watch MMA. I know that for a fact because of the fucking retarded shit that you say. So please, fucking shut up. Stop taking up bandwidth. Go back to fucking taking bath salts or what the fuck on your position.
And to that dumb bitch that keeps posting up that stupid fake-ass Cain Velasquez got shot article, you're a dumb cunt. Stop it.
Well, yeah.
Wait a second. Let's call out that fucking website. What is that? NT Sports or... Do you know what I'm talking about on Facebook?
Sports? Let me find out.
Yeah, we need to call these dick smokers out first.
Okay, so it is, entimports.com.
Stop it.
Don't go there.
Comment. Don't open those articles. Don't comment on them. That is some fucking 14-year-old in his basement making shit up. That shit should never make print. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but you guys are the worst of the worst cocksuckers.
Yep.
What I heard is that the guy that runs that website used to work for bjpen.com, so it kind of makes sense.
They're another one.
Yeah, I know we don't got enough time in the show to get started on BJ. We need to do this a little bit more often because that's fucking depressing too, that shit I heard about him.
Oh, that's pretty bad. All right, we'll talk about that next time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. You guys want to give it your Twitters or no?
Oh, man, fuck Twitter.
All right, fuck Twitter. Huh?
Fuck Twitter and the people who are on it.
Yeah, except for our homeboys, we fuck with you, but fuck you, English. You always run that mouth.
There's like the 6 or 7 guys who are decent to us and all that, but all you weird people who follow me every day that I've never heard of, I'm not following you back.
All right, you guys have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time.
Later.